So I started going to Journey when I was going into 7th grade, and I started out my first time going to middle school because my mom really wanted me to, and I was really shy and intimidated by it all, but I went and I didn't really feel like a connection there. I didn't really feel welcomed, and I just wasn't really positive about it, so I didn't really end up having a good time. So I pretty much assumed that every time would be like that, and I just got really closed-minded, and I only wanted to stay with my parents. So I ended up spending 2 years here in the main service just watching and participating in like main service, and it wasn't bad. It was just not as good as it could have been for me because, you know, as a 7th grader, I probably would have benefited more going to middle school. So when I got into 9th grade, my mom really pushed for me to try going to the high school group because it would be like a new experience for me, something else to try. It wasn't middle school anymore. So I still really didn't want to because I thought it was just going to be like middle school was, and I was really afraid. And especially high schoolers, when you're a freshman, they look so big and scary, and I was so scared. So I think I went once, and I sat, like I came in and I had to like time it perfectly on time. So like I would come in right at 10:30, so like the service would start, so there would be no awkwardness of me like being alone. So I really didn't like that either, and I kind of kept going back and forth from like high school to main service. And my mom kept pushing me to go to high school, and she eventually contacted Brian Barry, the pastor, and told him to like what the deal was and why I wasn't going to high school and stuff. And so he called me one day, and it was kind of scary because, you know, he's like a big pastor and I didn't know him. And he told me like, hey, you know, what's the deal? You should come in. And he told me that he would introduce me to some people, and it kind of made me feel better. Like, okay, I mean, the pastor's my friend now, I can do this. So I went in, and he kind of introduced me to some people. Some of them are my really good friends now. But I felt a little bit better, but I still wasn't like sold on the idea, and I didn't really exactly know like if I was ready to commit to like high school at Journey and all that. So I wasn't exactly going still every weekend, and my mom got in contact with Sarah, who put me in a small group. And my mom didn't tell me that until a couple days before small group started, and I was kind of mad, like, why did you do that? Like, I cannot do small groups. Like, I don't know anyone, and like the same old story. And my mom was just, you know, get over it. You're gonna go. You need to go. And so I went against my will, and I ended up having an amazing time. And I like totally connected with these girls and my leaders, and we had like a really cool connection. And I didn't know anyone, and there were a couple girls that didn't know anyone either. And we still ended up like somehow having a bond, and it was really cool the first day, the first small groups. And when my mom picked me up, I acted all too cool, you know, like, oh, it was okay, you know, even though I had like an amazing time, but I just didn't want to admit it because I didn't want my mom to be right again. So I kept going to small groups every week, even if I wasn't going to high school. And on Sundays, I was going to small groups, and through small groups, I made these super strong connections, and my best friends are like from small group, and I felt a little more comfortable with the idea of starting to go to high school. So I went in, and I had my table, I had my group of friends, and I was way more comfortable. So I started like continually going to high school on Sundays, and I felt way better, and I knew some people. And then eventually Sarah asked me if I wanted to get involved and become a server, and I was really excited about it, and I was like, yeah, I would love to do that. And so I got involved in that, and then eventually as time went on, she asked me if I wanted to be on the production team, which is a much bigger deal, and I was a little bit more nervous and hesitant to say yes, but I did because I was still really excited about it. And so now I've been on production team for over a year, and it's like one of the coolest life-changing things I've ever done. And it totally has helped me with like my relationships with people and God, and it's like extremely like nice and comforting to know like I have my production team, like it's like my team. And I don't know, it's fun. Like I'm really involved now, and if it weren't for like small groups, I probably wouldn't be, and my mom, and getting over my shyness and stuff. But like I really want to make it a point now to like really connect with the people that are coming in alone or don't know anyone yet, or whatever the case may be. Like I really feel like it's like that's where I was, you know, that was me. So that's kind of like my duty to like help them. And so I kind of look for those people, and I sit with them on Sundays and like try and either introduce them to people or whatever and get them connected and get them involved. And I would say like getting involved is like the main thing, like to like start your relationships with God and with people and everything. I would definitely be a different person if it weren't for production team and Encounter.